share with Dr. Melania will start. Yes, please sit in the convenience field. Yeah. Okay, let me show the CV, the speaker today, the insightful speaker, Dr. Melania Gondomartojo. Her current position as an international development humanitarian, program expertise, food system, public health, nutrition, and social protection. Yes. Her professional experiences, wow. She as a head of nutrition in United Nations World Food Program. So, and then the activities, so many from licensing with high level advocacy, build capacity, World Program, then support monitoring evaluation, okay, from the all activity, her, yes, her, yeah, okay, so I think is enough, Mas, yes, the last, no, 2000, okay. Senior Strategic Advisor to Minister of Health in Timor-Leste. 4 years, okay. Then, sudah ya. Wow, so many, so you can, I think you can correspondent to her for consult and discuss about food security and nutrition. Last but not least, okay, Dr. Melania. So this is today is your time, your venue with the student. So please take the time. Thank you.
Okay, good morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank you to Diponegoro University. Yeah, I can be here with all of you for the next quite long, yeah, three and a half hours. So take as a informal one. I also would like to learn from all of you here. It's not only I give one way teaching, but your feedback is very important. If you don't mind, I have been through a little bit to be focused because I know that it's all mostly like mixings from medicines faculty. Who is from the medicine faculty here? Can you up? Up. Okay. And then the others from where? Can you just give me an insight from which faculty? Which faculty? Medicines, nutrition? Nutrition. So out of nutrition and medical, any others from? Can you speak louder? Okay, great. So today, in the next the schedule. Okay. Today, okay. Tekan out aja Pak. Nanti saya jatuh lagi. Today we will have 2 sessions here, yeah, under my lectures. If you don't mind, can you close your laptop? Close. I'll give my presentation full, without any. So really that I want to bring you to learn on something that not all medicals or nutritionists, Ibu Tika has already informed. I work in government, I work in United Nations, I work in the German Corporation, I work in the field. So please use my knowledge and experience today. Feel free. So I'm not your senior. I also would like to learn from you. Yeah. So the next 3 hours, I will be flexible, but remind me, Pak, for the time, please remind me. But the second session on the sustainable food system and nutritious affordable food or cost of diet, I'll speak longer. So I'll be flexible on the time. Allow me to present first. Feel free to take a note but please, I already silent my mobile. So really that we need to focus, and I will take you to the tour that thinking outside the box for today. Remind me if I speak too fast. Yeah, sometimes I forget that I speak too fast. So hopefully by end of my session, I'll take a feedback from you and hope that you can learn something from my next 3-hour lecture. So let me start with the next slide, please. Next slide. Okay. Previously, there is, I think, Pak, there's another slide, Pak. Previously. No. The pictures. Yeah, okay. So I try to visualize because I know that you come from different discipline and faculty. So I show you this, what we are going to learn the next 3.5 hours. Anyone can tell me on the pictures? Feel free. With me, you can speak free. So the first one, if you look at this is a climate change. We want to learn on the climate change. It's the temperatures, hitting the planet, and then just this is remember for the 4 keywords today that I will deliver. This is a climate change. We will learn on how the climate change has the connection with this one, a food system. So from the farm to the fork, what you eat every day, okay? And then this will also link with this too is part of the food system. And of course, since the food system affected, later I will explain. And this one will have two relations. The second one, we will learn on the food security. And the last one, this is usually the medical student thing about the medicines. But today, we'll have a little bit difference. This is the nutritious food will become our medicines. Yeah. Next slide, please. Okay. So first, I would like to give a concept, sharing a concept on the first one on the climate change definitions. Okay, if you see the Google, you read the Googles, there are many definitions, but I pick up the the definition that usually community and people use. One is from the IPCC. IPCC is Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, yeah. The climate change refers to a change in the state of the climate that can be identified statistically, yeah, by change or mean or the variability of its properties, and that persists for an extended period, typically decade or longer. I cannot change this one, even the word. This is the definition. The next one, another definition, I worked for United Nations for 17 years in different programs in different countries. And then this is the United Nations has a consensus also on the framework convention on the climate change, UNFCCC. Enggak kelihatan di bawahnya, Pak. Susah juga ya. Okay, I can use my. Udah? Susah, nggak bisa pakai PowerPoint sih ya. Okay, so this is okay, I can read from here. The climate change means that the UNFCCC attributed directly or indirectly to human activity that alters the composition of the global atmosphere, which is in addition to natural climate variability observed for comparable time periods. Anyone can tell me the similarity for these two definitions? Or maybe you don't get the caffeine this morning? I have already 2 glasses of caffeine. So I'm really having like high spirit. So if you see this, the climate change, it requires a longer term period of impact. It's not like suddenly happen. Yeah. Next slide. Okay. So oh ini berubah semua ya. ini dash rate-nya harusnya semua. Oke, nggak apa-apa. Okay, so let's first that's a climate change definition. Now we will try to understand, the climate change impact. You just remember the first slide that I show you, the pictures, There is a climate, there is a farm to fork food system, food security and nutrition. On the climate change impact on food security and nutrition, so when you talk about the food security and nutrition, those are part of a system, a food system, okay. Then if you look at this is the impact of climate change on the food security and nutrition, like the first session, the titles, you let me know if I speak too fast, So there are actually two different facts. One is about the agro ecosystem, and the one that we will deep dive in the next section is about the agricultural production and post-harvest. So the climate change, actually in our atmosphere, there are a natural composition. We have a carbon dioxide in normal situation, We have nitrogen, we have an oxygen, we have a methane in certain levels. When we talk about the climate change, there is anomaly on this composition in our planet. Our planet is not only in Indonesia. Where are you coming from? Sorry, Netherlands? I just came back from your country last 2 months. You? Netherlands, okay. So look at this, the climate change has a huge impact here. This is in general, if there is an anomaly on this composition, actually I need a whiteboard to make them easier, but later it's okay, I continue and I will try. I really want to try to simplify it, not too complicate, but by end of my session, you will understand those 4 concepts. Understand, it's enough, And then see like the climate change that has an impact on the temperatures. I think Semarang also has already hotter now. Jakarta, yesterday my flight even earlier, because maybe the airplane management afraid the last week, like continuously every days, heavy rains, So if you look at this, also precipitation also influence the weather. See, like we will, our planet will get more hotter, high rising temperatures, the sea level rise and ocean acidification also will have like imbalance on the ecosystem. So it will affect it to the fish, the marine situations, Then this one is also climate change. I'll show the pictures later on the land degradation. So it's not only our body unhealthy, but land also is unhealthy because the climates. And then this will make imbalance environment, like the increase of the pests and also the diseases, from the medicine aspect. This will not go into details because if you talk about the climate change and food system, there are huge area that maybe in a year it's not finished to learn. But today, I'm just request that all of you here hopefully can understand the concept. The second that we will go into and deep dive is the agricultural production. If the land is unhealthy, of course, because this will be affected. The production, the agriculture will be reduced, And if the reduced production, then the stock will be reduced also, right? Give an example, in Indonesia recently we were importing the rice because the rice is not sufficient to supply to all Indonesian peoples now. We almost eat rice, right, every day. Rice eater. Then this is also will affect on the quality. I'll explain later. And who is the most affected groups? Is small scale holders, yeah, petani kecil, small farmers. Then the income will be reduced, and also because of the stock is not sufficient, the price is going up. I don't know in Semarang, but I observe already, like in certain area in Indonesia, and also maybe in your country, everything is going up. Because this not only happen in Indonesia, it's globally happen. Yeah. At the end, the next session, we will deep dive more on the nutrition. Nutrition group maybe will be more curious, but this is we will have next in second session that we go really detail on the food security and nutrition. Before I go to the next slide, any question first? No? Or shall I continue first? This is the first slide. That this is starting point for understanding the knowledge on climate and nutrition. Next. So, as I just said that the climate change anomaly, the second is it require long-term period. It's not like suddenly happen, yeah. And the most contributed is us, human activities. So if you look at these two, just look at the pictures. If you see like this is a green, the paddy fields, yeah. It's maybe a couple years ago. But then due to climate change, look at the land, unhealthy land, that the production will reduce, even like the crop failures. So this is the area where the rising in temperatures, rising sea levels, that already happened. You can even like feel already the impact of climate change. I just came back from your country. I think the weather also is a bit changed there. So what you can do as a student, young student, I'm not younger anymore, but what can you do as a youth group generation? Because what we are doing and act now, the outcome is for you, the generation, next generation, future generation. So we have to start from now how we anticipate the minimal impact, yeah. And you also can see like the prolonged drought. There is anomaly on the heavy winds, hurricanes, typhoons everywhere, yeah. If you read the news recently, I think a couple months ago in India, even the temperatures reached like 52 degrees Celsius. And many people got a heat stroke. Yeah, so it's like also the line to the medical situations. Yeah. So we talk about the disaster. I think climate change is one of the disaster categorized. Then rainfall, floods, and the expert estimate that the low-lying island might be gone in the next decade. Yeah. Next slide, please. Okay. Climate change, human causes, is the major contribution to the anomaly of the climate. Yeah. Yeah, I like to draw when I teach, so make you better understand with the visualizations. So I can continue. The human causes, this is maybe 80% caused by us, the climate change. This is the greenhouse gases effect. I will explain a little bit on the scratch here. But deforestation, yeah. Who like to eat beef here? Who like to eat beef? Oh, I don't believe, yeah. I think young people like to eat like 500 grams of steak with medium well grill. So many people like to eat beef. So beef also, later cow. Sorry, Pak. Di sini aja mungkin ya, Pak. Supaya nggak nutupin. Okay. So this is the coal mining, burning of fossil fuels. Yeah. Out of 4, this is the most factors that influence the climate change. Yeah. Okay, I just want to show you on this one for you to make to understand. Yeah. So climate change is anomaly. Second is it require long-term period. It's not suddenly happen. Yeah. Ini mesti dipegang terus ya. Ini bisa kerekam juga ya Pak? Yang ini bisa juga ya? Oh berarti saya pakai ini. Oke. Oke. So, oke Pak. Soalnya susah banget. Oke. Can you see? Okay. Can you see or no? Maybe I should sit from. This is Earth, yeah. Outside Earth there is an atmosphere, yeah. Sorry, Pak. Okay. You see, like, I would like to explain about the greenhouse gases effect. Not really nitty-gritty details, but at least you understand, yeah? So there is, this one is the sun. You cannot see, or if you can see, you can move. Huh? You can see? Okay. So usually, there is in the atmosphere, there is a natural gas, yeah. Nitrogen, oxygen, like we are exhale and exhale. Yeah. So in the certain situation, the normal situation, the sun is coming to our Earth actually fine. You see, like there is the effect like fine. However, due to the anomaly, yeah. So greenhouse is good for insulated our planet, but if over, yeah, that's becoming the anomaly. So when trap here, will become a problem. I hope my illustration can make you understand. Yeah. So if what cause of this? Cause of this is the burning fossil fuel. From where? It's a 70% contribute to the greenhouse effect with the global emissions. From where? Industry. How many, I look at the Semarang, I asked the driver this morning, where is the public transport? I do not see many public transport. So this concept need to be bring also the policy level later on. Because if you use, each of you, using the car, not using the public transport, they will produce a lot of fossil fuels. Industry, transport, yeah. Any others else? Mostly from the fossil fuel is from the industry and the transportations. So produce a very high emissions. Yeah. So next time I just chit-chat with the colleague from Undip. Maybe inside the campus need public transport. So or biking. So this can be start from all of you here. Yeah. So this is the main cause of the climate change. There is also natural cause that this is beyond our control. Yeah, it's like Indonesia is ring of fire, many volcanoes everywhere. Yeah, so this also the natural will become anomaly as well when many like explosion and disruption of the volcanoes. Yeah, we cannot really manage to do that. Ocean change, Earth orbitals, we are getting hotter and hotter, the climate, the temperatures. Next slide, Pak. That's the climate change. if you don't mind, I will finish until the all definition, and I'll give you a chance to questions. So this is the food system. Previously, please. Okay. This is cycles. So remember the climates I have already explained. Second is the farm to fork is the food system. Yeah. A food system, if of course we are starting from the productions. Yeah. And then I will share my PowerPoint. Feel free. No cut. You can get it after my sessions. Productions, processing, of course. This is the industry that already contribute to the climate. So I try to explain the interconnectivity between the climate and the food systems. Then distribution. Yeah. Distribution, I think none of the big car like this using the electric vehicles, right? So already produced. Then the access. Yeah. Access also is also influenced because access will link to here's the plastic. I don't know in Semarang, but in Jakarta, if you go to supermarket, they charge you for the recycle bag, or or you have to bring your own. Yeah. And then the consumption. Wow, young people now is like this one, instant food. I just show to attract you. This is not really healthy later in the second session. So this is a production, processing, distribution, belum Pak. Access, consumption, and recycles. Since this is a cycle, if there is a disruption in one of the stage, this will not make this wheel is moving. So for example, like our Indonesia also has a problem with the food loss and food waste. Yeah, globally 30% of food wasted. Yeah, this already creating a problem in all over the world. So all of you, how much you eat that you do not finish it. When you eat having meals, do you finish all? Are you sure? Someone is pointing finger. So you have to start to show, to give it as an agent of change, as an example from the easy step. So finish your meals. Don't leave the meals. First, many people are still suffering in certain region. So even like in the developed countries, yeah, they also still have like many people living in the poverty. So the second thing, you contribute to the climate. Yeah. So this is like a seesaw that we need to really make a balance to make this food system sustain. Next slide. Saya session pertama sampai jam berapa ya, Bu? Jam 10. Oke. Karena begini, Bu, yang session pertama mungkin lebih singkat karena yang the second session itu quite bulky ya. Jadi saya fleksibel aja. Oke. This is the real definitions. If definition, I cannot even change can or I can delete can or no. So this is the word by word definition, a sustainable food system. So the cycle that the previous slide, yeah. We need to maintain each stage is interconnected, that we need to maintain it work well. So sustainable food system is a food system that delivers food security and nutrition for all. So food security and nutrition for all is part of the food system. In the such way that this also need to be considered economic sustainability, social sustainability, and environmental sustainability. This is the link to the climate. Yeah. So this like for the economic aspect, it should be like later economic sustainability, profitability, profitables. And this is the for the social sustainability, benefit for the community, having benefits. and has a positive or natural impact on the natural environments. Next slide. Okay. Wow. This Dr. Melanie gave me a headache this morning. It's more like many like diagram that, but relax. You will later understand the concept. This I'm already happy if you understand the concept, because this is not the medicine, but this link as a public health. Yeah. Okay. So this is the food system wheel developed by FAO. FAO is my sister agency when I work with the UN, Food Agriculture's organization. So there are actually 3 UN-based organizations in Rome. We call like Rome-based organization in Italy: FAO, WFP, and IFAD. Yeah. So if you look at the cycle, can someone explain before I voluntarily explain? Here? Someone who brave enough? No? Okay. So if you look at the center, so anomaly, the word, climate change, food system, food security and nutrition, and poverty. Now we come to the poverty reductions. Everything has to be sustained. Everything has to be maintained. Give an example. Okay, before we talk this one, give an example on the sustainable food system. If you are a medical, from the medical field, if maintaining the food system is not easy. It's like analog with the chronic disease. If you learn on the chronic disease that many organ failures. So in order to avoid this failure, we have to be healthy, right? So this is the analog that I try to make you to understand about the food system. So same wise like food system, yeah. So it has to be balanced, yeah. Otherwise, one of the disruption in the cycle will have another impact in different stages, yeah. Give an example, like if you have problem with the production due to the climate, agriculture production, of course the production will reduce in the quantity and quality as well, and the price is going up. Yeah. That's a very simple example. The center of the food security, will be the next second session. Food security and nutrition. Poverty, of course, will challenge the food insecure. When people are food insecure, they don't have access, they don't have purchasing power to purchase the food. Then this we need to reduce the poverty situation, yeah, the income, yeah. I don't know in the fields, but I learned on the public health when I studied medical, because I was an old generation. We also learn on the social assistance program. So public health also will link on nutrition. There are 2, yeah, nutrition specific and sensitive. If social protection is one of the nutrition sensitive program. So if you look at this one, the center of the poverty reduction and how can we manage the food security and nutrition in a sustainable manners, yeah. This influenced by the supply. This is the supply that previously I showed you on the cycle on the food system. Yeah. There's a production, processing, distribution, and consumption. To make this happen, then influenced by access, natural resources, labor, yeah. Good nutrition will have a good human capital. But if you have problem with malnutrition, triple burden malnutrition, then you will not see now, but the country has a building, but there are no people there to running. So it's not like immediate result, but it takes a bit longer time to produce a good human capitals. Yeah. So the good human capital will produce good labor, yeah, good labor, good workers, yeah. And then this is knowledge, finance. We also need to learn globally, and this is the most important thing about the policy, laws, and regulations. To those that previously I explained, it has to be supported by political will by the governments to ensure all programs are integrated and toward to the human capital development. Yeah. And then this is the green one. Air, we need a good air, fresh air, yeah. Soils, ecosystem, water and climate, because they'll also indirectly will influence to this the center. Next slide, Pa. We can go back to my slide if you have question, yeah, later, yeah. So this is the external drivers of the food system. There is a supply, yeah, food environments, individual factors, consumer behavior and diets. See the climate change also as one of the external drivers, yeah. Giving example, do you know about the bonus demographic in 2050? So our population will be like, wow, maybe globally we'll add around 2 billion of new peoples. How can we ensure that we are secure and we are not having shortage of food by the time the climate is impacted? Yeah. So this is the external driver like urbanization. It's not only about the climate. Urbanization, maybe I just met with the Agriculture's Ministry and the National Food Agency. We have some concern on the young farmers because many young people in the village, they go to the city to find another job. So in the cycle of food system, I think similar with our cycle of life, yeah. Was born as a baby and now you are here, yeah. And then will become older later state, yeah. So we need to maintain and we need to attract the young people to sustain and continue our agriculture's productions, agriculture's work, field work. Then the political leadership, of course, this is the most important thing, especially in Indonesia. We have 2 different central level on policy and also we have decentralization system at the district levels. If this is not harmony, program will not work. If the ministry, not only in Indonesia, everywhere, I observe, ministry, they don't talk each other, program cannot be integrated. So we really hope that this can be strengthened and strengthened through the leadership, strong leadership. So this is food supply chains, more or less like this is the food production system, supply, storage and distribution, yeah, processing and packaging. I just still go back that the food waste is also contributing to the climate, yeah. Food waste, food loss, like middle income country, mostly coming from the household levels because you don't finish your meals. So many wasted food that also contributed to the climate. And mostly I look at all mostly like to eat beef. So after my session, maybe a bit like change to chicken. Beef is the most contributed to climate as well because in the world, like 8 times higher than numbers. Because the beef, they have to eat, right? In order to get bigger and you can eat the meat, their meat. And then they eat in the forest, and forest also is deforestation, degradation because finish, eating by the beef. And when they produce the poo, this also produce the methane gas that also influence the climate. So this is the supply chains, and we also need to see the food environments. Yes, okay, I do not go one by one. Important is this one, food messaging. We need to strengthen is this one. This is related to the food labeling. In other developed countries, There's already reminders like you smoke, okay, don't smoke, you will get the cancer lung. The same like recently, Indonesia also is trajectory on the diabetes type 2 among the young people because the high consumption on sugar. Who like the kopi kekinian with whip, with gula aren, brown sugar, with, oh yeah, very, very good. But then be careful, that's in the long-term consumption of the high sugar level that will lead to the non-communicable disease diabetic. Indonesia now is going to be like top 10 of the adolescent suffer for diabetes type 2. Then this is important to strengthen the food messaging, yeah. Individual factors. This is many like from the aspirational, cognitive, yeah, and the consumer behavior, yeah, from the preparation, meal practices and storage. Now, like many people like to eat ultra processed food, ready to eat food, rather than the home-based food. Next slide. Sama ada satu lagi. Next slide. Ya, keluarin aja Pak, minta tolong. Okay. How we can anticipate those that the previous slide that I just explained at the glance. So what we can do, we have to follow also the global developments. Now is the many like digitalization. Now is for student also easy. Yeah, we have AI now, artificial intelligence. But then we need to rebalancing agriculture research and development, yeah, to really like having like more nutritious food, diverse food. Then reducing the food loss. I'll speak later in the second session a bit on the fortification, biofortification, and formulation. If you look at, still remember the first diagram on the concept of the climate change, yeah, you see like in the bottoms there is reducing on the food quality. So one of the intervention that to increase the value, the content of food is to do like the fortifications. This is like food fortification and biofortification. These environments, okay, this food price subsidized and taxes. For the taxes, I just give an examples because of the fossil fuel, the highest contribution to the climate. Like given example, like Indonesia now is we have like several fuels like pertalite we call, that the subsidized one. Now the government also reduced the subsidized around 40%. So this is also maybe part of government efforts to reduce the climate change impact. Even the community complain because like middle up economic cannot, maybe it's hardly more difficult to access the pertalite. Yeah, so subsidized is a bit cut. So this is important to this politics and leadership to make all happen in order. Okay, this one is the link to nutritious food choices income platform like social protections. Anyone know about the social protection? No? Okay, I'll explain in the next second session. Social protection, if you are studying on nutrition, there are two nutrition definitions. One is specific, that's directly like, what is the specific nutrition intervention, like breastfeeding, yeah, or giving like the immunization, so direct. But indirect, we call it nutrition sensitive. Social protection is one of nutrition sensitive. And then this is the technology also is important, yeah, because when you have overproduction in the agriculture, but they don't have access. Like, give an example like biofortification, where the paddy has a zinc component inside from the seed. But when the farmer produce, they don't have market because the price is a bit higher than the common rice. So we also need to see the technology for the marketing, for selling, yeah. And this is the diet, nutrition and health outcome. will be influenced by our diet every day and social economic environments. Over. Pak. Okay, next slide. So we need an integrated action. So can someone give me a keyword? I just write down here the keyword. The first keyword on the I start with anomaly, yeah? Yeah? And then the 3 topic that we will learn. What's your name? The next slide. Where are you coming from? Yeah. Can you give me a second keyword for your friend here? Anomaly, climate. Climate change. Climate. Someone want to help me? The next keyword? For security. Next keyword, now is man. We should have a gender balance here. Yeah? Man, women, and now man. Someone man here can give me the next keyword? Nutrition? And I want to give another keyword, integration. Okay, this is what I want to explain to you, this slide. Want to add something? Feel free. Huh? This one? Oh, integration. Okay. This is actually, I want to explain you about this slide. So we need an integration action. I see like there is a debate when I was in Jakarta, always like, okay, if malnutrition, okay, if the dysentery, okay, if that's the job of Ministry of Health. This is not correct. We should have an integration approach among the work of the ministries. Because the same like the food system and climate, its contribution by its program will harmonize, will synergize for better result, outcome. So this is the integrated action. For example, I just pick up the 4, yeah, agri-food system, water system, social protection, and the health system. So giving example like agri-food system, diversify food production. I give example, okay, if you look at, I think in Philippines also the same, yeah, many paddy fields, yeah, because you also eat a lot of rice. There is from Japan here. How many? Okay, in Japan also you eat a lot of rice, yeah. So many paddy fields as well. But how can we do like diverse food production? I give example when I was having program in Lombok, Nusa Tenggara Barat. So you can do like between the irrigation, because the paddy usually having irrigation, right? For water the paddy. Then you can do like the fish pond, for instance. Yeah? There is a fishery and agriculture's combination. So I just give an example on the diverse food production. Are you going to the field? Tomorrow, right? Next week. Hopefully you can learn something and seeing what I explain now in the field. And maybe tell me more on that one. Even I'm back to Jakarta. You can reach me. Then the shift to healthy diet. We will learn on about the healthy diet later. And then reduce food loss and waste. Food waste, you can start from today, my presentation, and starting from now and onwards that you have to finish your meals. Yeah. I remember, because I was an old generation. My grandma is Dutch educated in the past. And then I have to finish my meals. So don't take like, if you're hungry, you want to take many, but then at the end you cannot finish it. So start now. I hope you can do like your own contributions, yeah, on reducing food loss and waste. Because food waste especially Food loss and waste is contributing to 30% of the climate change impact globally. And then the biofortification and food fortification, I'll give in the second session later, more details. So biofortification and food fortification is basically that very, very good vehicle if you can fortify it in your staple food. For example, in Netherlands, you eat a lot of bread, right? I think you have already the policy in place that the bread has to be fortified by vitamin and mineral. Yes or no? No? Oh, you don't know. Okay, you go back and you check it out there. In Indonesia, we have obligatory wheat fortification, even wheat coming from abroad, but in Indonesia, we have a policy on wheat fortification. Yeah, so all like wheat, because I think Indonesian people now shifting a little bit on the meals. Yeah, many people, Indonesian people now like also to eat bread. Yeah, so the wheat already fortified, and the salt already fortified to increase the ingredient to more like nutritious. Yeah. Then the water system enhance the water management and ensure the adequate wash. Because if the climate change impact, of course, water also is impacted. Yeah, you'll have like drying water, running out of water, and even water becoming polluted. One of the effect of the climate change to our body is the waterborne disease is increasing, yeah, because you have a shortage of water. I work a lot in eastern part of Indonesia. In there, access to clean and drinking water are still, I think, challenges even now. For the next is support livelihoods from the social protection system. So, for example, if the farmers, small farmers holders, usually the more affected by agriculture production caused by the climate. If you have in your country having a social protection program, give an example in Indonesia, we have program Keluarga Harapan, Hopeful Family. There's a cash transfer, like a conditionality of the cash transfer. So especially for example, like for poor people or farmer, they will have like monthly support for the government cash transfer to help because their livelihood is affected, yeah? Like farmer or fishery. In Indonesia, we have the cash transfer that helping this group to really overcome the hardship situation among the family members. Yeah. Then the ensure gender equity, we already apply in some. I think I was in at the time a long time ago, and I worked with the German corporation at the social protection program. I visited the South Africa and Brazil. They also apply on the social protection system, giving cash to the most vulnerable group. And engaging women is important. Yeah, we need to give the empowerment to women, but hardly the difficult. Like for the cash transfer, they will receive by women, but when go back to home, at their home, the papa is the decision maker, right? The fathers. And then not to buy the food, buy the cigarette and pulsa, yeah, for internet. So we need to strengthen the monitoring. And the health system integrated essential nutrition, I just explained on nutrition specific and nutrition sensitive and One Health approach. So if we can do the integration, the program integration in these two columns, you will get better outcome in the climate relevant outcome and nutrition outcome. Yeah, for instance, like if you start to not to do the food waste, finish your meal, you have contribution to which one? The greenhouse gases reduce, yeah? Because you reduce the food waste, starting from the individuals. Or biodiversity is protected, because if you do like helping doing this, food wasted reduce, also actually somehow like you also give indirect contribution to the water availability. Yeah. If water available, agriculture is more diverse, and then biodiversity is protected. Yeah. Natural resource preserve. If you eat less meat, you also contribute to this one. So I try to go back to all of you here. How can that you provide giving contribution from each individuals. Yeah, and then this is the we also negative coping will be reduced. Nutrition related outcome, if you can do this all integration, it's not easy to do coordination. Coordination is a simple word, but to really make it, you need a lot of effort to do that. But if this is assuming this working well, you will have a good outcome on the climate and nutrition. Then the safe food, because if you can maintain the preserve the natural resources, this food and clean water will be safe for you. Coping strategies also enhanced, then this is the most important. Illness reduce, and you will have a country with the healthier peoples, stronger economies, and greater resilience. Next slide. Okay. This is if you look at this is I give example on actually Indonesia, we have a strategic pathway here. We have developed, I was part also of the expert group, national pathway for the food system transformation. However, there's a however always. However, this one is a bit slowing down on the results. Because of what? Giving example like, okay, this one. Healthy and nutritious food is integrated into the social safety net. I give example in Indonesia, we have in the past sembako program. So there are several packets of food that distributed to the poor community. But then we are helping how to increase the nutritious access food through this social safety net by giving them fortified food. Fortified food like fortified rice, they have like additional vitamin and mineral. So the beneficiary or recipient can get more like nutritious food. But then the system is changed now to cash transfer. So this is the first scenario is could not get on board anymore, because the system is changed to cash transfer. With cash transfers, it's hardly to control because they can go to any kind of the market. Next is this is more or less, food literacy education campaign on healthy food. I hope after my session today, you can become an agent of change. You can educate your colleagues who are not here. Starting from the food waste, starting from your healthy diets practice in your daily life. This is actually the target what Indonesia country has developed. And here is this is inclusive business model for technology. I think we are still far behind on this target. I mean, like even regional or globally. Because now we are facing the global crisis on the food crisis, economic crisis that hampering all countries. So we have to be more like resilient on that one. Next slide. Okay. Shall I continue the definition? Because there are several slides, then I'll give you question and answer. Waktunya jam berapa? Sampai jam 10 ya, Bu ya? Let's try to finish 10 minutes and then I'll give like 15-minute question and answer. Okay. So I'll just give climate change, done. Nggak ada yang warna merah ya. Ada warna lain nggak, Pak? Ini done, climate done. Now, food security. So I said that food security and nutrition is part of the food system. Sustainable food system, and then climate will impact to the food system. Inside the food system, there are food security and nutrition. Now I try to explain you the concept of food security. Because at the last of food security will be also nutrition. I'll show you. Okay. As I said that, if definition, Dr. Melanie cannot change. So this is actually from the World Food Summit 1996. Food security means that food security exists when all peoples, so all people meaning like in you from Netherlands, from Japan, from Philippines, everywhere, All people at all time have physical and economic access. So it should be both here. Access to sufficient, safe and nutritious food that meet their dietary needs and food preferences for an active and healthy life. For an active and healthy life. So you make this emphasize on the physical, economic access, yeah, and then to be active and healthy. Yeah. If you're active, most of you will be healthy. Yeah. This definition gives to 4 dimensions of food security. We will learn on the next slide. So it's about the food availability, it's about the food accessibility, it's about the food utilization equivalent with nutrition. Utilization is consumption. Nutrition, the same. And the last one is stability. Likewise, the food system cycles on the food security concept also has to be stable. So stable in what? Having food availability, accessibility, utilization together. Okay, next slide. Dr. Melanie give me a very hard, heavy today. Today heavy, no, it's easy. This is the one that I just explained. What? Physical, economic access, active and healthy life. Yeah. But this is not only this one. There are 4 components inside the food security. One is food availability. Usually food availability is more broader at the national levels. Yeah. Food availability means that sufficient quantities of appropriate and quality food is available. So nationally available from domestic production, commercial or import, food assistance or food reserve on a consistent basis. Giving example, I think a couple of months ago, due to the crop failure in Indonesia, we have imported the rice. India, they don't give. Is there from India today? No. India, there is a policy from the prime ministers. The rice should be for their people. So Indonesia imported from other country, not India, to make stability of the stock, national stock, that we call like food availability. So it can be like from commercial import as well. But we make available for every people in our country. We make available for those that the rice distribution to social protection program, for example. That's the job of the government. And then the food accessibility. So if the food available in the market, you should have an access, right? Yeah. Access refer to the adequate income or other resources to access appropriate food domestically through home production, buying in local market, exchange or barter or gift or borrowing as a food aid. So if you have food in the market, you should have access. Access, whether you have purchasing power to buy or not. Yeah. If the food is available in the market, but you don't have access to purchase, that problem with the food accessibility. Or due to the agriculture disruption, then the food is not available in the market. So if you have money, but you cannot buy it. Yeah. Give an example in some of the disaster situations. Yeah, the market is collapsed. Yeah. So accessibility is challenging for certain emergency situation. And then this one is the food consumption or utilization or nutrition. Yeah. So food at the end of, this is kind of the catalyst stabilizer. But these 3 is important on the concept of food security, especially for the food consumption. It's equivalent with utilization, equivalent with nutrition. People utilize food properly through food storing, processing, practicing, practices well have sufficient knowledge where they apply nutritional, health, sanitation, socioculture, as well as spiritual parameters of food. So this is more or less the nutrition. Yeah. Then everything should be stable. Yeah, adequate food all the time, certain that access is granted, and utilization of appropriate food is not curtailed, yeah, or hindered by shortage of emergency situation. Yeah. Next slide. Okay. I think almost done. I have like one slide more after this, yeah. I think so. Why is climate worsen food insecurity? Food security, can you repeat for the one that previously I explained? Food availability. Then food accessibility. And then food utilization, nutrition, and has to be stabilized. Yeah. So if those not stabilized, community become food insecure. So like oppose food security is food insecure. And again, since I show you a picture, remember that the global temperature, farm to fork, food system, food security, and nutrition. Now I interlink with climate. Yeah. So look at this way of climate change worsens the food insecurity. Impact on food availability are expected, change in usable land and crop yields. Remember my slide with the nice greenery paddy field, and the next one is the like the land degradation. So if the land, usable land, having problem, crop yield having problem because of the prolonged drought, impact of climate change because of flooding, so you cannot produce as it is, right? So food availability will be affected. Yeah. And then stability of the food supply are expected to climate variability that affect consistent production of food. Yeah. So food supply, if there is problem with the agriculture production, remember with the first cascade, then you will also have problem with the stability on the supply chain. Then food access are expected to higher food price. Okay, I'll show you. You remember the slide that I explained? So, looking the last one is the food prices. If your agriculture production have a limitation due to the climate, so your production will be reduced, right? Usually, give an example, they can produce like 10 metric ton, 10 metric ton or 1 metric ton for the smallholders rice. Then you have problem with the climate, then produce like maybe half of it or even like only 25%. So I will hamper to the price, yeah. So you have limitation in the market. Usually, easily to find rice. Now it's not possible because there is like shortage of the production. And then utilization, yeah. So increase disease that climate brings, yeah, can due to the shortage of water, yeah, can increase the waterborne diseases. So if you have illness, then your body feeling unhealthy, then you don't want to eat, yeah. So you cannot even like eating the nutritious food. So this is all like the interlink between the disease on the our nutrition. What you call it? I forgot. Like how can the body is doing the metabolic for the food intake that we usually consume every day. But if you are ill, you cannot do as usual, right? You feel like bitter taste in your tongue, so you will eat less. Yeah. Next slide. So that the previous one is impact of climate change to food security. Now impact of climate change to nutrition. Very unfortunate that research is quite lacking on this one, climate change and nutrition. So maybe Diponegoro University will do more on the research, because globally also we are lacking on the research, climate change impact to nutrition. Now it's becoming growing for that research. Then reduce concentration in protein and mineral vitamin, decrease in drinking water quality, and food safety linking to foodborne disease. Next slide, Pak. I give you more details. So, climate change negatively impact to nutrition. Looking the tree, yeah, with the higher temperatures, yeah, that's the one that I scratch, yeah. Carbon dioxide also will be increased, yeah. This will reduce the nutrient value of many nutritious crop and animal source. For example, usually inside the paddy, we still have like vitamin B little bit, right? But with this situation, the nutrient content also will be reduced due to the climate, unhealthy soil, the previous slide that I explained. And then the second one is the number of extreme weather events like drought, floods, heat wave, and storm, yeah? Reducing yields, change in the agricultural calendars, and pushing down the food production. So we link to food availability under the food security concept, the previous slide. Then this, if you see the one that I first explained to you on this one, yeah. So climate change will also disturbing the agro-ecosystem. So I just put the B icons. Climate change is decreasing the number of diversity of pollinators, which are essential production of nutritious food like fruit, vegetable, and nut and seeds. So we will not having like a lot of diversity of the fruit and vegetable. And this will reduce the food diversity, so you cannot, in a certain later period of time, that you will not find a good taste of papaya, for instance. Like papaya also reduce. Semangka, watermelons, also not really in a good quality. Yeah. Then the rising sea levels will threatening the agricultures. So this will have an unhealthy soil, yeah. Degraded soils. So reduce also the rice production in the coastal area. Means like the quality of food also will be reduced. Ocean and fresh water, if you look at the first slide that I just showed you, there's also impacted to the livelihoods, right? Like from the fishery. Usually you can eat fresh fish, they can catch a lot more fish, but due to the rising sea levels, these fishermen cannot catch like usually they can catch, let's say 1 metric ton, and then will be reduced, and the quality of fish also will be reduced because like there is an ocean acidification as well. And then the ocean and fresh waters, this is fish. So ocean hypoxia only not happen to the brain. Yeah? In medical, hypoxia in the brain. But ocean also can suffer hypoxia. Yeah. If ocean suffer hypoxia, many fish, the species also will collapse. Some of them will be disappear. Then this also will have an impact on the inland fisheries catch. Yeah. Food quality, quantity also will be affected. And then this is water shortage, drying. That is the waterborne disease. Yeah. How can we increase the nutrient needs? Yeah. Because if we have the shortage of water, of course the waterborne disease will be increased. Dysentery, yeah. Diarrhea. And if you suffer the diarrhea, then some of the electrolyte will be gone as well. Yeah. So all things we need to live in harmony, in balance. Yeah. Next. Okay. This is, I just give an example. So after my first session, hopefully starting now, your lunch should be finished. So we reduce the food waste. Individual contribution is important. If none of you, do not care, how can we improve the negative impact of the climate? So it has to be from our side. So save energy at home. Save energy at home, how? In your country, already done a lot. In Netherlands, many using the solar panel and wind, right? Here, in certain area in eastern part, we have already used. But for an easy one in our home, try to use the LED bulb. Yeah, this also already, because if you use the energy bulb, you use like 10 watt, this equivalent like 50 watt. So you save. Yes, starting from your point of view. Then, okay, I just talked and discussed with Butika. Is there any public transportation? I observed this morning, Semarang lack of public transport. We have to use public transport. If each of you using your own car, how many fossil fuels that you produce? How many students here? Oh, million using each of individual using their own motorcycle, using your own car. This produce the fuels, right? Emission, right? So maybe this is need to start with for the new mayor of Semarang probably. Consider your travel. Usually the company doesn't like. Give an example like this. If I go to Jayapura, you know, Indonesia is a very huge country. If you fly from Jakarta to Jayapura, 7 to 8 hours. They have direct flight now. But if I can say to my boss, I said, can I do like transit travel to Jayapura? Of course, your boss will not allow because it's more expensive, the ticket, rather than the direct flight. That's why it need to be the company policy. Yeah. Because long haul flight can produce a lot of fossil fuels compared to the shorter flight. I just give an example. Then the switch to an electric vehicles is a bit still harder for us because the price is very expensive. The battery is very expensive. But I don't know, in Japan you all using the electricity vehicle or not? That's good. I think in Netherlands already have a policy on that one. I using the electric vehicle because I observe every gas station they have the charger. Here I have a funny experience of my doctor colleague from Bandung to Jakarta. So my colleague, because if you use the electric vehicle, you can check the distance and whether your electric can be sufficient to reach your destination, right? So my classmate in the medical, okay, go to Jakarta, okay. I will use, he's very proud, I will use electric vehicles. So it's already counting, okay, I can reach the Jakarta, small car, I think produced by, it's very small car, electric car. And then during the travel, he used, YouTube, music, AC all the time. Results, before reaching destination, the car is stop. Stop in the toll road, no option, no charger. So he has to use the car, big car, and then the car is going up, and then he stayed there without any AC. Because of in the system, not yet counting the utilization of the audio, AC, yeah. But hopefully our country will change to this, the electric vehicles, reduce, repair, and recycles, yeah. Now it's many fancy clothes, yeah, fancy things. So if the cloth still can be used, please use. Because you see like 1 kilogram of textile equivalent with 17 kilogram of carbon dioxide. Yeah, this is the one that creating the climate problem, okay? And solar panels, and eat more vegetable. Do you like vegetable? Are you sure? Which one, with the Burger King or McDonald's? So I hope that try to change your diet, because our data later in Indonesia, we are very poor in consuming fruit and vegetable as WHO recommendation. Only less than 5% of Indonesia population consume fruit and vegetable as per recommendation. Next slide. Okay, so the first session, hopefully on time. We are a bit running off time, but I'll give time for question and answer. Hope the first session, the concept is already in your mind, because for the next session, your concept will be used. Yeah, understanding on the concept of the one that I explained will be used. Thank you. Okay, Bu Tika, I think for session finished. I look forward to all of you for a question and answer. And hopefully I can answer.
Good morning. My name is Zahra. So I want to ask to Dr. Melanie, climate change. As far as we know, climate change is impacted on food security and food system. So people tend to shift their diets to processed one and unhealthy diets. The question is the shifting food is one of the coping mechanism on poor and vulnerability group, because they can access food, or the shifting food is just a globalization of food environment. Thank you.
Can you ask with Dr. Melanie, please?
Please introduce your name and from which faculty slide, from where. Okay. Satu dulu. If I'm being a speaker, I doubt myself if there is no question whether my explanation transfer well or no. Or I hope the second one you understand all. So no question. Thank you for a question. Actually, I will go deep dive on the second session, but I explain you in at brief. Yeah. Okay. This is the war with the ultra processed food. Yeah. The war with the private sector. With private sector absorb a lot of labor everywhere, not only Indonesia. But then it depends of the very extreme nutritionists or extreme health that know at all for the ultra processed food. Do you like Indomie? Huh? Do you like noodles? Indomie noodles? I think many people like it. I also like it. Indomie goreng or Indomie rawon. But then I do not name it. But many people here like to eat like. But the taste is good, right? But ultra processed food, this is what I am having a concern on the home-based food. Yeah. Because home-based food, it requires the food preparation, timing, etc. And I just explained on the high price of the food. Have you observed or no? That's from Philippines. Do you feel it? The price is going up for the food? Yeah. From where? Indonesia. Do you feel the increase of the price of food in Semarang? Okay. Are you sure? Jogja. From Jogja. I just came back from Jogja. I teach in UNISA. They also said that around 10 to 20% on the cost of diet. Japan is fine. The food price is going up, right? Yeah, Netherlands. Yeah, I think everywhere because the global high prices, yeah, due to climate impact also, yeah, on the agriculture, etc. But then because of the Pak tolong ke yang food security yang pillars. Because of the high price, so who are the vulnerable groups? Poor people, right? It's more vulnerable. I'll give presentation more detail on the expenditure, food expenditure in the second session. So I just given you an answer at glance. So because of the high food prices, and we are war with they are very good in the marketing. Yeah. Because we also need to do like social behavior change communication, education. Yeah. Because the high food prices, bukan yang itu Pak. High food prices, yang ada pilar 4 tuh. Ini. Yeah. Because of the food prices, so access, physical and economic. So if they don't have power, access, you have access, I can go to the market, but I don't have sufficient money to buy, so it's hardly also you will have the healthy diet. That's why government has social protection program that will help in the community, poor people's community, having like earning income more with the support of the cash transfer from the governments. Assuming the role of women, assuming they are processing a good food, not cigarette or pulsa, internet. So we need to strengthen our monitoring and evaluation. We need to strengthen the research result base of the cash transfers. I think there are already many, if you Googles, if you are curious to know on Indonesia program on social station, you can maybe deep dive on the Googles on the program Keluarga Harapan. That's a conditionality cash transfer. I think that's all in glance, because in the second session you will learn more on the ultra processed food. The second session we will speak more on nutrition and cost of diet. Yeah. Hopefully satisfied. Any missing answer? Sufficient? Okay. Mungkin 2-3 kalau ada lagi.
Because the time is coffee break. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. The participant, I think the first topic for the food security and nutrition concept is over. So we move to coffee break time session. So you can enjoy the food for 15. Is it enough? 15 minutes. Okay. So you can back here at this room. Okay. Of course, thank you very much, Dr. Melanie, for the concept FSN, food security and nutrition. Yeah, and the viral topic and trending topic, I think. Okay, please to take your time to coffee break. Okay.